Hi everybody! This is the warm-ups video that I'm making for my students to follow along with in our virtual lessons. Though this video is mainly for our virtual lessons, it's a great tool to utilize for individual practice as well. So the very first, most important thing that we do when we're singing is, as you all should know, our breathing. So we're gonna get started with doing just a little bit of breathing to start off today. So let's start off today by taking a couple nice deep breaths into our diaphragm. So our diaphragm is the muscle that's right above our stomach and right underneath our ribs. And when we breathe in properly, it's going to push downwards and allow our lungs to completely expand. Now remember, along with our diaphragmatic breathing, it is so important while we're singing that we keep a good posture. So we want to make sure that our back is nice and straight, our shoulders are down and back and relaxed. Basically, our goal is to make sure that we keep our main chest and throat area nice and open to allow as much air to come in as possible. Now let's try it. Let's try taking a nice deep breath into our diaphragm, remembering to keep your chest area and your throat area nice and open. So let's try it. Good, so notice that when I'm doing that, I'm breathing in through my mouth and out through my mouth. And also my chest area and my shoulder area are barely moving, as opposed to... You also hear the difference in my sound, right? So now let's try taking a few more of those nice big deep diaphragmatic breaths. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Good, one more. Good job! So now I've switched my location and I'm actually in my room at the studio because I don't have a keyboard that I can use at home. So here I'm going to be showing you all of the warm-ups that we do that you need a keyboard in order to do. So the first warm-up that we're going to be doing is called Do, Re, Mi, Fa, So. And I do this warm-up with all of my students because it's really good for learning how to match pitch with the keyboard. So it's going to sound like this. Do, Re, Mi, Fa, So, Fa, Mi, Re, Do. So notice how when I'm doing this one, I'm still really breathing from my diaphragm and I'm also really enunciating all of the syllables. Do, Re, Mi. Now if you're a little bit younger, I may have you doing this one just on instead of having to memorize all the syllables. So in that case, it'll sound like this. Ah, 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 ah. So now I'm going to play that sequence of notes over and over, getting higher and higher on the keyboard as we go. And I just want you to stop wherever you feel like you're comfortable or wherever it feels like your voice is starting to crack. And depending on if you do Do, Re, Mi, Fa, So or I just want you to follow along and do it exactly how we do it in the studio. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Now as we're getting higher and higher, I want you to start opening up your throat, right? So pretend like you're trying to swallow a watermelon. Making sure you get all of that space to let the air through. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. One more. Good job! So the next warm-up that we're going to be doing that needs a keyboard is called Pentatonic Scales. So this one is basically going to be doing a scale going up and coming back down on the syllable ah. So it's going to sound like this. Ah, ah. And you can go faster or slower with this one depending on your comfort level. Notice how with this one I sing ah first, just so that my body can get the feel for what note I'm singing. Ah, ah. So again, I'm just going to play a sequence of notes going lowest to highest, and I just want you to jump in and stop wherever you're feeling comfortable. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good job. So now as we're getting higher and higher and getting more into falsetto, I want you to switch to ooh, so it'll sound like this. Ooh, ooh. So really opening up your throat and letting that sound resonate. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more. Good job! So now we're going to get into some of the warm-ups that you can very easily do at home that don't need a keyboard and don't need any equipment except for your voice. The first one that we're going to do is called Ma Me Me Mo Moo, and I know that a lot of my students are familiar with this one. So basically this is a very good warm-up to exercise our diaphragm muscles and all of the muscles that we use to sing, and it's going to sound like this. Ma me me mo moo. Notice how when I'm starting off this warm-up, I'm starting it off with a very deep breath into my diaphragm. Ma, and I'm not using weak breath from my chest. Ma, and I'm not clicking my throat. Ma, I'm basically just using the air from my diaphragm, and I'm using that muscle to push the air out. Another great way that you can think about breathing into your diaphragm is to pretend like there's a balloon in your stomach that you need to fill up with air. So you fill up that balloon and then you're going to force the air out. So the next warm-up that we're going to do is called Bumble Bee, and I usually use this warm-up with my younger students because it's a great way to start learning easy scales. So it's going to sound like this. Bumblebee, 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 bumblebee. So when you're doing this warm-up, I do not want you to breathe at the very, very top. So like bumblebee, 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 bumblebee. Only because you may lose your place in the scale. When we get to the very top, we want to come down on the exact same notes that we went up on. But if we lose our spot by breathing at the very top, we might not come down on the right note. Another great way to think about this warm-up is to think about it as if you're walking up the stairs and then you're walking back down those same stairs. Sometimes it's easier to think about a scale as if it's a staircase because you're going up the notes and then you're coming back down on those same notes. The last warm-up that we're going to be doing today is called Mee-Yah, and it's going to sound like this. Mee-Yah. So basically this warm-up is going up on a scale and then coming down on that scale even quicker, filling the spaces in between those notes. Notice how when I do it, when I go up on the first scale, I go up to a certain note, and then I reach up to a little bit of a higher note to come down on the ya. Mee-Yah. adjust your pitch with this one and start lower or higher depending on the comfort zone of your voice. So that's all the warm-ups that I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you learned something from this video. I hope that it not only helps you in our virtual lessons, but it also helps you with your individual practicing at home. Thank you so much again. I'll see you soon. Bye!